Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Spain on a Small Plate series. This lesson is grilled pork belly, braised in almond sauce. This is my version of a classic tapa, which is often made with pork meatballs. I'm using pork belly instead because everything's better with bacon. It's important to brown the almonds only lightly and not to let them or the garlic burn, or otherwise your sauce will be very bitter. Some recipes call for browning the bread too. I prefer not doing so and simply blending it with the almonds and the stock. You might also think that the sauce is too thin after you blend it, but it will thicken as you braise the pork in it. So let's start cooking. Okay, now we're going to get our pork belly pieces ready to cook, and first we're going to give them a twist of pepper and kind of press it in a little bit. We're not using salt because pork belly is basically bacon, and bacon usually doesn't need any salt added to it. Okay, but we are going to put a little bit of freshly ground black pepper on it. Now, you know I like to pat it in. Okay, then we're going to dredge it in potato starch. You could also use all-purpose flour if you like, okay? We're going to dredge all of the pieces, all sides. Okay, there we go, ready to cook. Okay, now we're going to brown the pork pieces, and you may think that this pan looks dirty. It's not dirty. It has already some duck fat and some butter in it. This is the same pan that I used to cook some chorizo a little while ago. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm building flavor. It's called insaporire in Italian, although they may pronounce it much better than I did. I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil. And then we're going to put it on medium heat, and then we are going to we'll let this get hot, and then we're going to brown all of the pork pieces in this pan. Okay, now let's brown these babies. Okay, let's see how they're looking. Oh, we're getting nice and brown on that side, so let's turn them all over. Okay, it looks like we have gotten them brown all around. Okay, so we're going to take them out of the pan. We're going to keep these warm until we're ready to use them again. Okay, now we're going to brown the almonds in. I added a little bit more olive oil to the pan, and we're going to brown the almonds in the same pan where we browned the pork pieces. And we want to just get these lightly golden, okay? Okay, we're getting some brown on these almonds. We do not want them to get dark and burned, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the garlic. And you know, if you watch my other videos, that garlic burns fast and easy, okay? So we're going to stir it around to get a little bit of coating of the olive oil that's in the pan. And we're going to turn the heat down pretty low. And we're just going to stir that around a little bit until that garlic has cooked about 30 seconds or so. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is add white wine. And we're going to let that cook and reduce until it is what I call just wet or almost dry. Okay, so our pan is just wet, almost dry. We're going to add the chicken stock, and we're going to bring that to a boil, and that means just bring to a boil. Just when it starts to get to a boil, we're going to reduce it to a simmer. Okay, we're just coming to a boil, so we're going to reduce the heat, let it simmer for about 2 minutes or so. I've transferred the sauce into the blender. Now we're going to add the bread, and then we're going to puree this. Okay, there we go. Let's see how it looks. Okay, looks beautiful. Kind of milky color. Okay. All right, I've returned the sauce to the pan. Now what we're going to do is taste it. Okay, need salt. We're going to add salt. And we're going to add a twist of pepper. Stir it up. Taste it again. Okay, we're just getting the salt taste just starting to come through. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the pork back into the pan. And we're going to put the heat on to just get that to just start to come to a boil. Then we're going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Okay, we're just starting to come to a boil here. We're going to reduce the heat a bit. We're going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. Okay, now we're ready to plate up the pork with the almond sauce. So what we're going to do is just put a little bit of the sauce into our serving dish. Okay, then we're going to add a piece of the pork. Then we're going to do a little squeeze of lemon on top. Then just a little garnish of parsley. And there we have it. That is pork belly with almond sauce. You can see photos of the final dish on my Instagram, which is at Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.